All right, so yesterday, crazy day, Google earnings just skyrocketed, and I am ecstatic right now to see how much those contracts are going to go up. And we're going to get to that in a second right now. First, I want to talk about some of the charts for today, what we're going to be watching. Earnings yesterday did massive plays. Like, not only did Google fly a good 10% this morning, you can see it's up about 10% since yesterday. But also AMD, Nvidia, Facebook, everyone soared, which of course, when you have your big tech giants flying like that, then you know that SPY, QQQ, and all those guys are going to do great. Now, I have a couple things I want to announce before I move on. I've decided to move away from Robinhood because of how, one, their stocks are dying, two, they're a trash company, three, their entire system is just made to make you lose money. Like, you can't see charts, you can't really draw any lines, you can't really see trends that well, like an ascending triangle or a falling wedge or any of these things, head and shoulder. It's a lot harder to see on their design than how it's supposed to be compared to a typical computer. So I'm back to my Thinkorswim app where I'm going to be basically working as a small account right now until I can move everything in. So it's got about 500 bucks in here, which we're going to try to grow into a 25K account. So that should be a pretty fun journey. If you look at the charts here, let's take a look at what happened yesterday, right? So we've got Apple, AMD, Netflix, and Google. Everything on the 1 minute chart. So we're looking at the minute by minute plays of everything that happened yesterday. That's this gray area right here. So yesterday, this black area was all day yesterday, right? From 9:30 to 15, 16, right? And then after hours. This is after hours, and then today is going to start right now. So yesterday, when the day ended, Google was at around 27.21, 27.50, and then the earnings calls took it way over 3,000 to a high of 3,058, and then it's falling down a little bit right now to 29.92. Now, I grabbed, let's take a look at it. Right here, I got one contract at $1.10, and it was already up. It was already up from $1.10 to $1.325, so $1.30 basically, and I was up about $20 to begin with. Now, when the market opens, we have, what is it? Um, Maybe 9 more minutes. I am excited to see how much that's going to pop up because I've never actually played earnings that went this big. All right, so this is a massive. You can see when I bought it, it went up from that point to $141. All right, so I basically bought it, or when the day ended for me at least, it was at 29.95. That was the price Google was at. When Google was at 29.95, the contract was worth 1.325. Now it's worth $242 more. Keep in mind that usually when you buy a contract, whether it's a call or a pull, every 20 to 30 cents your contract goes up, right? When the stock goes up 20 cents, if you got calls for it, your contract goes up a good like 5 cents or so, right? And the math behind how much a contract will go up when the stock you bought calls for will actually go up is unexplainable. There's no real math to it, if anything. So keeping in mind with all that, these green candles here were everything. These were beautiful, beautiful green candles. Now, learning how to read candles is another big thing, right? That it's on my Discord server. So the link should be in the description if you haven't already seen. But on my channel, I have a knowledge center where I teach everything. Right? So you have number 6 over here talking about candles. And every single day I post watch list and charts where you can see all the different plays we're going to be watching. So this is Google from yesterday. Look at that massive candle after earnings, right? Went way over 3,000. Stock traded big time, still up 10%, right? 9 and 1. We are pretty certain to see it hold the 3,000, pretty certain. And with that, of course, not only did SPY and QQQ go up, but the whole market is looking powerful because, of course, tech practically runs the markets. So, this is the number one thing I wanted to catch live today. What happens when a contract goes up 250 bucks basically, right? Other than that, we can also see AMD, same kind of graph, right? Massive green candles. where the day ended for AMD at around 116, and then it went to a high of almost 129. Right, so that's pretty impressive, big jump right there for AMD as well. So anyone that got AMD contracts, very happy. Apple stalled at around the same price range all day yesterday, so nothing crazy over there. Netflix was flying all day though, and you had multiple chances to get in. All right, it was first from so never really trade when the day starts, right? Don't buy anything right when it opens. So it kind of dipped a little. Then it had its first rise right here. Right, so you can see. Let me zoom in. So you have the first rise right here, going from 428 to about 440. Right, and then after that, it stalled for most of the day, but the second rise did hit because it broke 451. Right, the second rise hit, it broke 451, it then hit 458, and then it kept going to 462. So there were multiple instances. There was this one first rise right here, the second rise right here. You can see if we zoom in, there's 3 green candles, right, which is an indication once again that you should probably get in. If it's still showing the same momentum as it's been showing, it's usually a good sign that it's going to keep going, and you're gonna be pretty fortunate to play with it. Now today it was falling overnight, but then look at this green candle here. That is one fat candle, right? So we're seeing some strong momentum from Netflix as well, and chances are that that's going to be something we're going to be able to continue on with today. Right, so let me see, what else did I pick up? I did pick up also SPY contracts. Right, so I got one contract because remember this is a small account with a total cash sweep of about 500 bucks of SPY, and I got it pretty far. So I got the 14th February one, right? February 14th call. I got it at about $1. That was also already up $1.350, $1.35. So $35 profit here. This is 50 bucks profit at the end of the day, right? But today everything is much higher, especially this Google contract. So this should be massive profits. Now, after some math I did, trying to predict how much of an increment this contract should be given the $262 rise, I think that this contract is going to go from $1.10 to possibly, we're thinking like $30. Right? That's my prediction. It should be at $30. That this should be such a big gain that I should be not too far anymore from being able to make this a daily day trading type of account, right? I wish that I could uncover these things, but then it'll uncover everything, and that's kind of the reason I used to use Robinhood before. But it's okay, I can keep this all hidden and mainly the account number. But yeah, $500 account. Let's see where it goes. Other than that, let's come back to the Discord charts that I posted today. So you can see Netflix here, right? Traded up 7% during market hours, still did pretty well after hours. Great volume, and you can see for each of these things I have contract suggestions. You want to wait for the chart and the suggestions work together basically, right? So you want to wait for some of these numbers, these pink lines that you're seeing. Those are numbers for resistances and gaps, right? So like let's say you buy a contract for something and you're day trading, which means you could buy and sell the same day. You want to sell it when it's about to hit the resistance, right? At least trim and sell half of the contracts you bought, because when it hits the resistance, it's probably going to fall back down and then you can buy again, right? That's the reason you care for these extensive charts, right? These are the different levels for Netflix right here. You can see, right? 500 being a really strong resistance for it, but 482, 500, 521. When it breaks some of these resistances, right, then you can buy more or just hold the contracts you're holding and enjoy those profits, right? Profits are profits, but you got to take profits where necessary. Facebook, another one that also did skyrocket yesterday near the end of the day and after hours. Right, so we're going to be watching that as well. Mainly, we want to see it hit 337 and come back down. We'll see how that goes. And then, of course, even Amazon got a little bit of life near the end of the day. Right, so uh, that's a pretty good feeling for a company that's kind of been dying out the past few days. So you want to wonder what's going to happen. So in the long run of things, Amazon has fallen quite a bit, but you can see it's reclaimed the 3,000s now, $3,114 right there. Another big thing about Google, which is probably going to be a catalyst today to make it go even higher, and I am inclined to hold my one contract, is the fact that they announced a 20-to-1 stock split. So right now as we're talking, the Google contract is still going to be increasing in value because you can see some new green candles just popped up, bringing Google to a value of 3,029. Right, 3,929. This 2752 to 3,929. That's the big gap we're seeing from yesterday to today. That's humongous. And it's still going up. It's still going up. I have a feeling it's going to go up a little more when the market opens in 40 seconds. But honestly, all I'm inclined to see is how much this contract is going to increase. Right, so we're right now at $1.10, and I am dying to see how much it's going to go to from there. So as soon as that happens, I'm going to have to execute this order and sell it. So I'm going to create closing order, and I'm going to go ahead and wait to see what it goes up to. 1367. Oh, is it time? That might actually be what it'll go up to. Holy shit. That's gonna be crazy. Let's watch. We have right there. It has hit 4.6, 4.7. I'll take it. I'll take it. At least go to 5, maybe. And we have to wait for all the parameters to hit. All the different numbers and the math involved for this shit. Even this is looking great, right? So it's up from 1 to 1.6. Now, right here, I'm going to go ahead and take the profits, take my 350 bucks and go run, right? Because I have no reason to wait any more than that. And there's a lot of shifting happening in Google. We can see the value of Google shifting up and down, kind of pointing downwards now. So I think that I'm more than content taking, what is this? Whoa. Let's create closing order. So let's see where are we? This Google's kind of pointing a little downwards right now. It just broke under 3,000. This is the February 3,300 call, right? Let's take a look at where that is. Yeah, this one. So it's a 4.7. I kind of want to sell it with Google a lot higher. Google's at 29.96 right now. It was at 3,030. There you go. It's at 5 now. I think I'm content taking the profits at 5 if I could, but it's starting to point down. Starting to point down. Why are you pointing down, Google? Don't point down. Don't do that. All right, yeah, it's pointing down. So let's take it. 4.45. All right, let's try this. Let's see if I can get that sell to go through. And SPY cost. So now when you're on a small account, what you want to do is every day you sell, right? So like this morning, this is up already quite a bit. I'm happy with it. I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. And then for today, I'm going to come back near the end of the day, right? So because it's a small account, you can't do anything sitting here all day looking at the monitor. So what you're going to do is you're just going to come back later and sell it, right? Come back later and sell it. Sorry, I mean, come back later and open new positions. When you're on a small account, you can't do anything. So you come back near like power hour, maybe, right? Around 1, and then check. Oh, that's sold. So massive profits there. Great stuff. And check where things are looking like they are. And then play based off of that. Play based off of that, basically, right? So if you come back near the end of the day and you see that SPY is falling, QQQ is falling, everything's doing bad, what do? You sell it all, right? And then you buy puts on those things into the next day. So if you're not able to day trade and you're trying to grow your account, right, then you have to trade near the end of the day, because throughout the day things change. For example, in the morning, SPY may be going up, right, and maybe it's at like 430, and then you see it go to 435, 440, but you can't day trade, so you couldn't get calls in the morning, because what's going to happen is if you got calls in the morning and then SPY goes up $10, by noon it can start falling again and you're going to lose everything you gained. So that's a useless day trade, right? Because you can't day trade. If you can't sell a contract, you don't want to buy it too early. That's something very critical you need to keep in mind, right? So if you can't sell contracts, you don't buy too early and you wait until the end of the day where you can finally see where is the market heading, what's happening, is everything dying or is everything flourishing. You can go on multiple websites, right? There's multiple resources to utilize to see how the market is doing. And so we've got a couple that I look at right here. We got Finviz, right? We have this guy right here, Bar Chart, very good website. Of course, StockTwits, you could talk about things with anyone. Now, StockTwits is a weird one, because here all you get to learn in StockTwits is momentum. You get to see how people feel about a stock, but people aren't what dictate what's going to happen, right? So if people feel like something should go up, it's probably their wishful thinking rather than the fact that it's actually going to go up, unless they give charts and actual validation to what they think. Another great website, Stock Labs. Create an account here. You get to see a lot of things here on Stock Labs, very helpful. And then, of course, the notorious TradingView. If you're using Robinhood, where you can't really draw anything on charts, can't really see basic symbols, can't really see all the trend lines and everything, then you want to utilize TradingView for a replacement of the crippled charting that Robinhood does. But as I said earlier, I am done with Robinhood. I've left Robinhood, and I am now mainly basically trading with my original Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is where it's at now. Google's actually starting to come back up now, so this contract is worth more than what I sold it at. But once again, I took almost 300 to 400% of gains right there, and I'm more than happy. Anyone that was able to buy more contracts obviously took massive gains, but playing with earnings is a lottery. Playing with earnings is a lottery. Like, a company can have great earnings and still die, or it can have really bad earnings and skyrocket. Anything can happen. It's not like every time good earnings happen, the stock goes up. That's not what happens, right? But there are multiple reasons I felt that Google would actually go up with good earnings. For one thing, for the past few uh, weeks, if anything, Google had been dying out. So if we look at the more in-depth, let's take a look at it like this. So if we look at the 10-day chart, right, you can see Google had just been falling, right, just not really doing too well. And if we zoom out even more into the 20-day, so you can see how Google used to be pretty high up here, right near the 3,000, and then it just slowly had been dying. Look at all these red candles here, and it hit a low of 24.90. Right, so this is one of the beauties of anything besides Robinhood, that you can see all this so wonderfully the way it was meant to see, with volume, because volume matters. Just because the stock is going up without volume doesn't mean you should buy calls, because if the stock is going up without volume, it's going to fall just as hard as it's going up. All right. So you can see it was falling with a lot of sell volume, a lot of volume to sell, right? The tall volume candles here for selling, and Google was selling off hard. But then, of course, as with most stocks, as earnings were approaching, this earnings call was approaching, you start seeing more green candles, but it was a pretty mixed signal. Now, very close to earnings week, it started going up, and on the day of, it was going up even more. But the beauty in this was the fact that Google had fallen a lot, and Google had multiple reasons for all investors all over the world, well, all over America, to actually put money into Google. Anything else, any of these other companies are very iffy, but Google is a solid business, solid business. They have products that have been out of stock forever. I've been trying to buy a lot of their smart bulbs, the smart devices to put around in my apartment. I have their Google Max Nest Hub. I have everything that they make, because it's just, not only are they fun things, but they're enjoyable, good products, right? Um, Everything's out of stock. The bulbs are out of stock. A lot of things are out of stock. So they're selling well. Google AdSense has been flourishing because a lot of people are making websites sitting at home, working from home, stuff like that. So of course, AdSense revenue is increasing for them. And YouTube and all their other things that Google owns, everything under the Google umbrella is successful, right? So looking at how everything else is shaky, Netflix is shaky, AMD and anything else relying on a chip is shaky. Tesla and the EV market is shaky. As an investor, the cleanest thing you could put money into was Google. So you put your money in Google and you sit back, and then boom, it was gonna blow up. It was a pretty given thing that it would blow up. In fact, if you go back historically to earning calls for Google, it's very rare for Google's earning call to actually fall. Now, conversely, had Google actually been going up, right? So maybe Google had been, getting a lot of green candles, going up, 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 and then it was approaching like 3,050 bucks, 3,060 bucks, maybe even making new all-time highs before earnings. Then I would have bought puts because what usually happens is even if they showed really good earnings, what would happen is everyone would start pulling out their profits because they're really happy with everything that happened, and market's not doing that well anyway. So you take your gains and you leave, and then we would see Google fall big time, right? So wonderful, wonderful time. What an amazing trade, powerful trade. You can see now the contract is at 7.3. If I had multiple contracts, I would have sold like one or two. You never sell everything in one go, but I only had one contract anyway. So I took my profits going from 1 to 5. That's a $400 gain. Wonderful thing. Well, $300 gain actually. Wait, where did I sell it at? Oh, I can't see what I bought it at right now, but I'll take a look at it. But either way, a gain is a gain, and that was a pretty good profit right there, right? So, wonderful morning, and then now today, because this is a small account and it's not a day trading account, I'm just gonna sit back and watch what the market does intermittently, just checking, seeing what kind of plays are being made throughout different Discord servers. I'm gonna share plays that I think are really good day trades, and I'll announce them on my own server. As you can see, a lot of these other servers are sending out alerts now. I just take them and then I post them here. So that's the beauty of my server. And then, of course, after that, near the end of the day, usually around power hour, I'm going to come back and see what's happening to the market and then make plays based off of that. Right? But amazing morning with the Google earnings, very good lotto play. I look forward to hitting more earnings like that as well. Also got rid of the SPY contracts, and SPY right now for the morning is looking like it's going up, so that's good too. And we'll see what happens after power hour. And good luck with your trade day today. And I'm going to keep alerting everything that's worth trading. And I will see you guys later.